started teaching what I love, which is marketing and selling. And I don't know, it's crazy in how I started to love myself talking in the camera, like how I connect with people, how people will feel I help them. I wasn't thinking about numbers. I wasn't thinking about likes. I wasn't thinking about anything. It just amazed me. I remember like Mike and I were partners at the course, and he's like, guess who got her first, sale? I'm like, what? Like, I didn't even have like, I don't know how many, followers, and I already had like one sale. Someone trusted me because of this. It's crazy. I don't know. I think I finally found my why.
Welcome, guys, back to the podcast. We have a great guest on here today. She is a rock star, a global rock star, and a global team leader here at EXP Really with the Wolfpack. This is Vane Monroe. On the call, you probably heard a lot about her, seeing a lot of stuff we've been doing with the Wolfpack, but she is now almost at 200 agents with her group. But we're not talking about just team building here in EXP. We're going to be talking about entrepreneurship and how EXP leads to other opportunities. Guess what she's doing right now? Since she's come to the company, give me a second here. She's a social media course creator, blowing up all over social media herself. She's now a new author. She's written a book, believe it or not. We're going to talk about that. She's coming out with a tech product, a CRM, something here, something there. I don't know. We'll have her maybe talk about that. And she's also well-respected within our group here as the women's group leader here at EXP Really with the Wolfpack. Vane, thank you for coming on the show today. Let's talk about how you got into the business. And let's talk about how these other businesses and ideas and things that you're working on spurred from just one decision to come to EXP and work with us. But I'm excited to see your career kind of grow and flourish. You've done a lot. You're high energy. I can now see how you got here, but I'm excited to have you on the show today. So first, maybe before we dig into all this and kind of talk about how your career built out and how other people can follow in your path of doing the same thing, what got you here in the first place? Why are you even on this call? How did you get in touch with Mike, and what made you decide to get your license and come into to do the real estate thing with us?
Yeah. First of all, Connor, thanks a lot for having me here. It's an honor to be with you. It's an honor to be part of your team and learn from you. Thanks a lot. And I'm going to talk. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm pretty crazy. Well, I'm pretty crazy, but I major in marketing here in Mexico. I've always been an entrepreneur. I love to do different businesses. So I've done so many, I don't remember how many. I've been successful in some, not in other ones, but I think that's the journey of an entrepreneur, right? And something super funny happened to me in a plane that it's important for me because it's the opportunity, right? You don't see it, but I took it. So I just catch up with a friend that I haven't seen from high school. And we're talking about what we're doing in our life. And she's telling me that she's a realtor in LA. And I'm like, I wanted to try that too, but I don't know why I haven't, right? So she's like, you will be perfect. Like, I need an agent in San Diego and and I'm like, well, I'm not American. I don't have a license. But in that moment, I thought, well, I can help her there. Let's see how we can do it. But I thought, I know all this marketing. I've been a marketing consulting in all this, websites. Facebook was starting when I did this before, consulting for companies and so many things. I love marketing, digital marketing. So I'm like, so what do you do for marketing? And she's like, I don't do anything. So I went back. I just got out of the plane and I go to my computer. This is December 2020, before COVID. Okay. So I write like Facebook ad for realtors, right? In YouTube. So I find 3 guys. And one of these 3 guys was Mike Sherrard, Mikey, because he looks so young in that 3 years ago. And he's like teaching, he, in that moment, he had about 3,000 subscribers. It's crazy. Now he has 82,000. I have 25,000, right? Together, we have more than 100,000 agents following us for social media. So I'm like, I thought, how difficult could it be to sell a house, right? That's what I thought. And in Mexico, Connor, if you don't know, we don't need a license. Right. So I'm like, but my husband is a lawyer. I study. I'm someone that likes to educate myself. So Mike had a call to action and I booked a call. Like, what I thought in that moment was like, okay, I want to do what he's doing, like in my city. I just thought my city. Imagine that. I thought I'm going to, try to help realtors or brokerages in my city to, implement social media to grow their businesses. So I'm like with this little kid called Mike Sherrod, like, hi, so I want to do what you do in Mexico. How can we partner? Blah, blah, blah. So Mike and I we became friends like in one moment, right? Like, he's like, well, you should do, you know what you should do? And he's like, you should do a YouTube channel and you should sell my course and do it in Spanish. And I'm like, what? Like, kind of, I'm like social skilled, right? But not in a way that I would like to share my life in social media. I'm like, you're crazy. YouTube, what are you talking about? You know, he's like, yeah, you should. So we started talking about the idea of me making his course and me doing the YouTube channel. Like he told me like 1 minute, and the second minute I said, okay, you know, I'll do it. But if I wanted to teach people how to, you know, sell houses through social media, I thought, well, first I have to do it. I have to do it myself to believe I can teach people, because I love to, when someone teaches you that they have that experience, so it feels more like proximity, you know, because some people just teach, but they don't do it. So it's difficult to ¿cómo se dice? To, you know, I forgot the word I was trying to say, but how is it entender? I can't believe I forgot that word in English. But what I did is that I went to a broker here in Tijuana that has a big brokerage. And I'm like, so Hector, I want to sell, you know, just a pre-construction, just one. And one of my friends was the sales manager of that pre-construction. So I just focused in one thing, Connor. This is important because people don't focus in one thing. They focus in so many things at the beginning, so you're not going to be successful. So I told Mike, I'm going to go to this guy. I'm just going to sell one thing. I'm going to implement all the strategy that you do about Facebook ads that I know too. And let's see what happens. And in my first month, I sold my first condo, my first land, and the rest is history. I'm like, okay, now I can do this course. So I started, you know, recording Mike's course in Spanish, and imagine we have to tropicalize it to here. It's so different, the real estate industry there and here. So I started doing that. I started my YouTube channel, and 2 years later, now I have, as you said, my own academy, which is called in Spanish is Cracks Inmobiliarios. Like cracks, like someone like is like super hot, like you know, when you say goat, like a goat, like Rafa Nadal is a goat in tennis, like it's the same, like kind of fish in Spanish, but in inmobiliarios, like realtors, goat realtors, imagine something like that. That's what it means in Spanish. So I have my academy there, and yeah, it's crazy what's happening in these 2 years. Like, I don't know if you knew that or not.
Oh, of course I knew. That's why you're on the show. But it's important to understand what she's kind of saying, guys, is how fast this can happen. So, and I think a lot of people after the pandemic, kind of life shook them up a little bit. A lot of career 9-to-5 earners. I mean, this is a good opportunity for you guys to change paths and maybe go into business, give you the lifestyle that you want. But I think a lot of people start things and stop things, or never start in the first place. So what was it that pushed you through? Have you thought about it? Because like most people, if like Mike said, hey, go recreate these courses in Spanish, they're going to say, that's a big undertaking. That's a lot of time. That's a big investment. And they're not going to do it, even though they have the opportunity. And the big difference is you followed through and did it. And look where you are now. They could have done the same thing and been a you, but they didn't. So what made you push past that and get past that risk barrier where you're like, okay, this makes sense. I'm going to go for it and just start creating these videos. And, you know, what kind of motivated you to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I just saw the opportunity, but I didn't like, I was always looking for something that will, you know, like fulfill me, you know, like, because I'm not kind of an entrepreneur that I will get bored. Like if you started something, not because I wasn't getting successful, but I was bored about the same activity, you know, like, this is not for me anymore. Like I'm not just. And I don't know, when I started teaching what I love, which is marketing and selling, and I don't know, it's crazy in how I started to love myself talking in the camera, like how I connect with people, you know, like how people will feel like I helped them. I don't know. I wasn't thinking about numbers. I wasn't thinking about likes. I wasn't thinking about anything. It just amazed me. I remember like at the month 3, I think Mike and I were partners at the course, and he's like, guess who got her first, sale? I'm like, what? Like, I didn't even have like, I don't know how many, followers, and I already had like one sale. Someone trusted me because of this. It's crazy. I don't know. I think I finally found my why when I was 45. I'm almost 48 this year. And I will always be grateful for Mike for letting me find my why, because, I think so many people don't find it in life. And I think that's sad, I don't know. I've always been a super like perseverant person. Like, I will not fall, even if I fall, I will get up. Like that. I think that's something I don't know if I was born this way, but I try to keep this way, because you can, get depressed, get sad, don't get the goals you expect. But I know that if you do the repetitions, it will come. I remember that movie. Do you remember that movie with Kevin Costner? Like, it said, I don't know, it was a baseball movie. It said like Field of Dreams. Yeah. And he will hear that voice, right? Like, if you build it, it will come. And I don't know, I was so little when I saw that movie. And I still, at this day, I really think that, like, I had to sacrifice so many things to be here. It's not a easy journey, right? Like, sometimes I just, what do you say when you're like brain freezed or tired, sometimes, but I just love what I'm doing, and I just have to be patient and passionate about what I am doing. So I think, I don't know if I respond to your question, but I think that's how I see it.
Well, I mean, if you do anything, whether it's in person or through technology, through social media, if you can solve problems for people when it comes to their finances, money, time, or emotion, meaning help them make more money or stop losing money, help them increase their time management, meaning free up time, save more time to do other things in their life, and then also increase the positive emotion patterns or reduce negative emotion patterns, people start gravitating towards you. And then what do people have? They have bank accounts, they have to spend money, and this leads to business opportunities. So the number one goal y'all need is in the present moment that you live in your life, which is the moment that we're filming this in right now. You're going to be watching this in the future, but in the present, all we're trying to do is have conversations and build relationships with people where they know that we can help them in the future with money, time, or emotion. And people are going to come around you and stay around you. And then when they know that you have good intent, they'll come behind you and follow you into whatever you're doing. So first, we find people above us, like she did with Mike, to say, here's the path. Mike helped her figure this out. She now took personal initiative and did it on her own. And now she's doing what for others? Leading others to do the same thing. And so this is how success happens globally. And this is how we fix the world, is we don't know what we're doing. We find our why, then help others find their why behind us, and then encourage them to do the same thing for others. And this is how we're really going to educate the world, increase the entrepreneurship pool around the planet. And the more entrepreneurs, the more independent free wealth creation, the better life's going to be for everybody. But let's talk about how they can recreate. So let's go into your social media courses, because let's talk about kind of like what they're about. And then maybe the creation process, because I know a lot of people want to create courses. It's kind of a big hot topic. And you can kind of talk about your experience on kind of how it went from when you started that process. Like, how did you plan it out? How many videos, and were there some headaches, things that you would have done differently, like batching content and things like that? So let's first talk about the courses themselves, and then the creation process and how long it kind of took. And
oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, I have a course in my academy. I have Facebook, I have YouTube, I have Google, I have a VIP program where you can have everything: funnels, a mindset, marketing, branding, and all these things. And I also have like weekly calls with agents to help them scale, right? At the beginning, I only had like Facebook, right? Like, as you said, like at the beginning, you don't even know what you're doing. But yes, I did, because Mike told me which videos to do. And it's very interesting what you said, because anyone can buy a course from any person, right? And if you're good, you can replicate your own. And I've heard Mike sometimes, like, someone comes and says, oh, I want to do it in French, for example, right? And they ask me, how do you do it? Well, I just studied Mike's and did it mine in Spanish. But they don't do it. Like, why don't they do it? Because it's a pain in where. It's hard. Like, it's time. Like, You have to, like, okay, I'm going to do these 5 videos. So I will study the video, and then I will have to do all these templates to, put it in Spanish. I had it in English. I had to do my own branding. And in that moment, I only had my branding, like, it was like pink. I didn't have what I have today, like everything like super cool, right? I will have to do it in Canva. No one did it for me. Now they do it for me, right? So it took a lot of time, like a lot, but I will be super compromised with myself, like every night, because I have 2 kids, 2 dogs, and a husband. So at what time can I record when there's no noise? Because we're in COVID, like it's so crazy. So imagine, Connor, I will study in the day and I will have everything prepared. So when they will go to sleep, I will record these videos. So I'm talking about, I will go to sleep maybe 4 o'clock in the morning. It was super hard. And I don't know, how do you say that? Like the nomada in Spanish is nomada. Like remember when people didn't have houses, so they have to move everywhere in countries or in cities because they didn't have a house. What's the word in English? Do you know what I mean? Nomad? Like if you don't have a house, and so you couldn't live here, so you will have to go there. What I'm trying to say is, like, I didn't have like my studio that I have now, so I'll have to go, to the kitchen, to my husband's office, to my kids' room. Like, it was crazy, but I had that compromise with me, so it was super hard. Like, it was like when I finally finished, like, I'm like, yes, Mike, I finished, after maybe 1 month, like doing this, like studying a lot before, and then just doing the videos. And so he's like, so now you have to do the master class. And like, what? When Mr. Miyagi told Daniel-san, like, all fans, like, I finished, Mr. Miyagi. I felt the same way.
Yeah. The mentor-mentee
I'm like,
so, like, I think a lot of people probably thought you'd be talking about, like, the fundamentals of the course and like piece it together. But what she went into was, the ability to film it actually. How does work-life, family-life balance play out behind the scenes? And this is just a podcast with Louis Galton. We did that a few videos we posted ago, and there was a lot on that work-life, family-life balance, where it's entrepreneurship's not just like, hey, do I know skill sets? Can I optimize a video? It's like, how do I stay healthy? How do I keep my relationships healthy? How do I find time throughout the day to do this? And how do I work around a family, partners, chaos in the world, lockdowns, and all sorts of types of things like this? So you need to really think about preparation. The more you prepare and the more you guard your time, meaning I'm going to prepare to do something and execute it with time batching and figure out the more you're going to accomplish. And I don't think anybody can accomplish anything at a high level with all the distractions, TV, family, hobbies, and things like this, unless they get intentful.
Yes.
She's talking about how she planned her schedule to do it at 4 a.m. and if she wanted, if she had to. So think about that. That's what it takes to hit your goals. Are you willing to do that? Because the successful people that you see all around you, this is what they did. So you create the course and then you had to sell it. So how do you sell it?
Yeah,
So
that part at the beginning, Mike was my partner at the beginning. So he helped me with a guy that did the funnel for us. So that was easy, but I learned in that phase how to do it. I was doing it just organically. We didn't even have like Facebook ads. So I didn't have that much revenue, but I already had the course, so like, if you want my masterclass, whatever. So it started attracting agents and I give so much education on my YouTube channel. So I think people really trust you because you give so much in YouTube. That's why I love YouTube. So it came much easier to sell in an organic way, right? So, but I think for those course creators, like it's tough. Like, okay, so you have to block your time, you have to think about the topics, you have to record, you have to optimize, you have to do your master class, you have to do your Facebook ads, you have to have your funnel, but you have to think like for phase through phase, right? Like it's something you learn through the process. Like, people think you have to know everything. So I made mistakes. Now we know what to do, right? Then Mike and I, like, okay, now you have your academy, I have mine. and I have my own team, and we do all this, thinking together of our funnel. What are we gonna do, and the culture in Latinos? How do they like to, to buy these things? What do they need? Well, so it's so different, but I don't know. You just have to block the time to study, block it, batch it, do it, and repeat.
And just start.
Because there's
Just
nothing like there's not. In Spanish you say like, no existe el hilo negro. Like, like what is like a small, I don't know
thread,
how do you say hilo? You know what I mean?
like a thread.
Yeah, like it doesn't exist. Like everyone does the same thing. Like you just have to do it your own. Like everyone copies everyone. Like you learn from someone else, and then someone learns from you, and they do their own course, and they repeat.
Yeah.
Like, but the success come with people that make the sacrifice and the repetition.
Yep.
And the consistency. Yes.
And it is important to understand how business has changed. So like when I got into business, social media wasn't the way it was, and there wasn't access to free information everywhere. And it was those who kind of held the information were the ones that kind of had the keys to the kingdom. So you couldn't just go unless you wanted to pay like a high-end consultant.
Yeah.
As social media over the past decades kind of built out, everybody has access to the same information. There's information everywhere. So now it's the execution side, the packaging side. Now it's like when I kind of got on YouTube, it didn't matter about, believe it or not, when I got onto YouTube, people didn't even have thumbnails. They just just post a video, and YouTube chose the thumbnail for you. Now it's who has the best packaging, who has the best aesthetics, who has the best, selling of the product, not creating the product, because now sales and marketing is actually much more important than the knowledge behind the product. Now, if you don't have any value in the product, once people buy it, then you're never going to have repeat sales and you're going to have attrition. But it's way more important to understand that information is everywhere. Now it's the execution on how well it can be marketed and how well you're getting it in front of people. So this is a very common process where people start with organic growth. They start bringing in a few sales, and then you moved into paid growth. So you're doing Facebook ads and IG ads. What type of ads are you running? Because what you guys need to think about is just open one door, move through it, build the foundation of the house, and then now you're going to know when to put up the framing, the electrical, and all this type of stuff. So just start moving forward, and things are going to open up. So she started out, create the course, went organic on YouTube, and then led to paid ads. So how did that work out? What did you start doing first?
Yeah, we do Facebook ads, Instagram ads. We don't do that much of YouTube ads, and we should. But in this phase of my entrepreneurship, we're in the Facebook, Instagram, and we have like we do ads in Spain, in Mexico, in the US, and Canada. And we target Latino realtors or Hispanic realtors that need these tools. And we do a lot of retargeting. We have video, we have, images. We are testing every day, like what is working, what is not working. And we're doing conversions to a landing page. And we have, in Mexico, I know you don't like WhatsApp either, but in Mexico and in Latinos, we love WhatsApp. So we also have automation. We have a bot. It's amazing. Imagine as email, you will get an email when you register for my masterclass. And then we have like about 7 emails to convert. But then we also have an automation, like it's programmed like to say, hi, Connor, thank you for, registering to my masterclass, blah, blah, blah. And then we have like 4 touch points with the client. And now we did it like that then. And now, like, imagine this, like in January. And now we have a new person that works with us, that she's in customer service. So she's in that chat all day. So because if someone asks something, so she's there. And now in our landing page, we have also a live chat, so our conversion has triplicated in that sense, because I didn't have the time to do everything, to answer the chat, to be to do video, to have calls. So you have to delegate to growth. So we're getting to that. It's amazing how we can see how with XXX our conversion, but by doing this. Yes.
Understand forward thinking. So that's what's very important. Most people live in the present and they're trying to solve problems in the present. Even if you have a bunch of problems in the present, you have to stay forward thinking and keep the vision, because you should be really thinking 6, 12, 18 months ahead. And really you should have a, goal set and the vision for the rest of your life. Once you really start to see it playing out, then you just build it out behind the scenes. Now, between the two, like Facebook versus IG ads, what's been the better one? What do you think's the better return on your dollar? Are they pretty comparable, or do you see one kind of better than the other right now currently?
Well, I mean, like, for example, if I do ads for my real estate business, Facebook is better in conversion about ¿cómo se dice? When you do forms, like, it's like mostly Facebook, but in this sense of a masterclass for my business, like for my academy, both. Like, I have both, but I have a bigger community on Instagram, because I love Instagram, because I can automate it. I know I can automate Facebook too, but I love Instagram. Like, organically growth in Instagram, I think you have everything in one, and you have something, for me, it's like something so personal that you can do with your community. Like, even if YouTube is like a huge platform, that I will go first on that one, and then Instagram, I think Instagram lets you be super close to your community, like with stories, with reels, it's different. So I think I love Instagram, like both for ads. I think Facebook and Instagram, like the same. Like, I will have to do the analysis 100%, because, like, for example, I'm like, guys, come on, let's see our KPIs. Like, so we had to integrate another person that has to do all the event conversions. And because we have, like, for other countries, we were like, okay, you get in one currency in pesos, the other one in dollars. And then we didn't know, and we didn't have the integration correct in the landing page. So we're in that process. Connor, you can invite me next few months and I will tell you for sure.
It's common. Just always
Yeah.
tweaking. You need to have that mindset. Implement something, tweak it, revise it, re-implement it, and just always in and out, always tweaking. And you saw this with Mike, how he made his first million, I think, was he had his courses. Like, when he came in, he had his Facebook course, his Manny chatbot course, and his IG course separate, and he was selling them individually. And this is how close you guys are to success. And he had sold a number of them. But then we decided, we were talking one night, like, put them all together and sell them as a course bundle. And he put them together and sold them as one for the same price as he was selling before. And everybody's locked down and it exploded. And he made 7 figures or more on that. And he already made the courses, already had everything, didn't have to do anything else except change the approach on how he sold them and how he marketed it. This is why it's so important to understand. He already had the knowledge, already had the videos filmed, everything was there.
Yeah.
Just changed the approach of the marketing. And that's what made him,
that's what we're doing now in my academy. Like, okay, we started selling this and the separate, but now we're doing like a high ticket, product. So that's because it's a lot of value in there, like a lot. So, but it's a process, right? To get to that point. Like, I couldn't sell like $3,000 the first day I was in YouTube, because who will buy it? Like, no one knows and trusts me yet,
Right.
Yeah.
So you got all of the courses in, and then I saw you speaking on stage with Mike at what was the big event? You were at ExpCon. You got to speak with Mike, and now you're a public speaker, and now you're traveling around doing events. And let's talk about that a little bit. So you've talked about how you started speaking, got you some attention. Now you helping run the Wolfpack Women's Group, and then all this led to your book. So kind of give an idea of like how all this happened. So I'm just trying to give people an idea of how you have a vision, you start one thing, and doors lead to other doors, and opportunities lead to other opportunities. So you start out, I need to sell a house, then I need to use social media, then you're teaching and selling social media courses. Now you're internationally speaking all over the place, and let's take it from there.
Yeah, I think something that helped me a lot, like, it's when I joined EXP, and it's so funny, because I started doing my YouTube channel, I think in May, for example. It's going to be 3 years. Well, it's been 3 years now. And I started looking at me at the camera so many times, like, you get so confident, right? And doing it again and again, because my first videos suck. And I cry laughing the other day but it's the evolution you start to accomplish. It's like amazing, you know.
Yep.
Like I will show them to you, some ads for a land I'm selling here in TJ. Like, I really, it seems like I've been in the business, like in the movie business for so many years, but it's so this repetition. So back to the point that you're saying, like when I started, then Mike comes to EXP and he talks about this, like maybe we'll come to Mexico. And I'm like, it's okay. It can come whenever, because I'm just starting to build, you know, my brand. So when this happens, I think I will have more, you know, credibility. So in that path, well, I'm still studying, I'm still doing the repetitions, I'm selling my course, and I'm doing. So I come to EXP, and as you know, I didn't even know what a cap and a split was. I'm like, I didn't, and you know, to understand the model of EXP was super tough for me. But I saw it like, if Mike is there and he is telling me this opportunity, I'm all in. I already had, you know, we were already partners, and we were thinking about growing together. So what I think helped me a lot at EXP when I first started is that I studied so much the model, Connor. I think, I don't know how many times I saw that model explained of Mike, maybe 100 times. I don't know how many, but imagine I had to pause and then write it in Spanish and pause and understand it. It was so hard for me to understand that. But I think that process too of studying, understanding, repeating. In the first time I explained the model at EXP, there were about 50 agents of Mexico. Mike was there, but he didn't understand anything I was saying. He like, I think it went well. And I'm like, okay. So the thing, what I'm trying to say is that in these 2 years and a half, no, 2 years and 2 years-ish that I've been at EXP, I've done the model explain more, really, I think more than 600 times for sure. And I've done more than 305 videos at YouTube, and I don't know how many reels. So all this repetition process has amazed me how my confidence is up, you know, like, so when I'm talking to the camera, and I was like, for me, it's like an easy peasy. Like people think like, no, you were born like that. No, like, go and see my first video. But because I love what I do, I know what I do, I have that confidence that what I'm going to tell you, it's true. So it's easy to talk about what I'm saying. And I always try to make this joke that I love to sing, and I love to play guitar. And when I had to, people are like, Vane, sing. And I'm like, oh, hold on, I have to take 2 years and then I can do it. And now it's like, I can go so, because I had to get confident, right? And now if you tell me sing, I will sing. Like I'm so confident in doing those repetitions. So it's easy, not that it's like, oh, I don't get nervous. Of course I do. And I get my heart, you know, like excitement. Like, and so when I got the first, I think the first event was in Vegas and then Mexico in a Monterrey event, that it was huge, Connor. It was an arena, where cats, or, you know, the, ¿cómo se llama? El Rey León, what is it? The Lion King and all this kind of, you know, shows they do in Mexico. So it was a huge event. I was like, when they told me I was going to be there, I'm like, oh my God, I've been doing this in camera, not with people, you know. I'm like,
for sure.
You know what? It's going to happen. I don't know. I was like, my heart was like, and I felt the energy, like, you know, you can see I'm an energized person, but I was just like, my husband, like, are you nervous? Like, no, I just feel this emotion, like, you know, like, I just want, like, I think that's what, you know, what groups or artists feel when they're gonna go out. And you obviously you have felt that before, like my heart pounding, like this energy, and people just like, yay, Vane. I'm like, oh my God. And then people like asking for autographs, pictures. I'm like, this is so crazy, right? Yeah. But I think it's just because I've done so many repetitions and I've studied so many things, and I prepare myself when I'm going to speak, like all the time. Like if I'm going to do a YouTube channel, well, I prepare. I think what I want to say. Like if I do the model explain, well, I know it in everything I have to know. So I think that has gave me that to be passionate about doing it and the confident. And in that moment when I was doing all these things, someone in social media approaches me and tells me they're like a place that they do books, if I thought any in my life thought about writing a book or something. And I'm like, well, yeah, but like we help you write your book, or if you don't have time, we can write it for you. So we had a meeting. I loved what it told me, and we started doing the book. It took 1 year, and I will show you to the people, to the audience here, because I'm super excited. And I love it because it has all my branding. If you see it, even I have QR codes and things. I even have a chapter of EXP, how it changed my life. And this book, Connor, talks about different things. The name of it is 30 seconds, $38,000, how to grow your business with your real estate business with social media. And it talks about mindset, but it talks about the story of my life at the beginning, how I was since I was little, my entrepreneurship, my falls, my things that I did good, the things that I learned from those things. And then I talk about, opportunities, how to take those opportunities in the consistency. And each chapter talks about how can Facebook help you in your real estate business? How can YouTube? How can EXP? How EXP has helped me grow an international group, with almost 200 agents in 9 countries. Like when I started in YouTube, or when I told you about I was going to help brokers and realtors in my city. And now if I go back and I tell you, now I help brokers and realtors in the world, it's crazy, Connor, just because of believing in the process and not wanting an instant gratification because a lot of agents tell me, oh, I did my reel, I didn't get any comments. And I'm like, yeah, why would you? So I think that's super important to have that mindset about be passionate, study, be consistent, repeat, repeat, and let's see what this takes you.
Yeah. So like she said, she's done over 600 presentations. I don't know if it's a book. I don't remember if I read it in a book. I think I heard somebody talking about it on a podcast out of a book called The Rule of 1,000 Presentations, or the Rule of 1,000, basically meaning if you do 1,000 repetitions of creating 1,000 YouTube videos, or 1,000 EXP Explain presentations, or 1,000, say you're selling insurance and you do your sales presentation 1,000 times, that you're going to be a millionaire at some point, because the massive repetition and the mastering of the skill set that you're actually selling, it's impossible that you don't become top 1% in the industry that you're in. And that's going to lead to a massive success. So it doesn't matter what you guys want, find a vision of how you see, whether it's like something that came from a hobby, from background, or someone in your family inspired you to just find a great vehicle, meaning a good industry or good product or service to go out there and sell. Figure it out by doing 1,000 presentations or 1,000 repetitions, and it's impossible to not become successful. And I had that sunk in my mind when I started EXP, and I was like, I want to do 1,000 EXP Explain presentations. I can tell you, I've done well over 1,000 of them. And here we are, #1 net growth organization at EXP globally as of last month, #3 for the year of 2023. So you need just to find what you want to do, start it, and just do massive repetitions, go for 1,000. And along that journey, you're going to become successful. It's also going to open up other doors to other things that you're going to become successful at. So we'll kind of wrap it up here. And so we start out, me and Mike, getting social media courses, leading to speaking. Let's talk about the women's group. So you run the women's group, and then we'll wrap it up with your CRM. If you want to talk about that,
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Of course.
Yeah. So I know we only got about 5, 6 minutes, 7 minutes here because you got something coming up, but quickly you scaled the women's group here. You're working with all the other women leaders to do this, but what's your take on all that and what y'all been doing with that?
Yeah, I think, it's amazing that we have this group because men don't understand women, right? So, and
Right.
it's so different. Like our role as women in our family and in our business is so different. And I think it's a super safe space for all women, to not feel vulnerable. I can't say that word.
No boys allowed club. Is that what
Yeah, no, just women. But imagine like if you are in this call and you get, these trainings, mentoring, coaching of top producers or me or my fellow team leaders talking about different things. And maybe you're breastfeeding, and of course you couldn't go to a weekly call with men, right? And if you're with women, yeah, you just feel like you're empowered
yeah.
and you feel safe, right? And that even if you're breastfeeding or even if you have two jobs or even if you're in a down pit, a downfall, whatever, you can
Yeah.
trust these women to help you through your business. And it doesn't matter like if you're in her team, my team, or your team. We're in the same team, we're in the same company, and we help each other to thrive from our experiences. So I love this group. Like we have this weekly call all Wednesdays, and we share our knowledge. Everyone has a value proposition, something we can share, something we can learn. So it's a space where a lot of women that are at EXP in our group can share something to us. So I think it's amazing how this group has, become a safe space for women and also motivation, because a lot of are like new, some are super experienced, some are top producers, and we all share, our wins. And I think that's our culture in the Wolfpack, to share our wins, to help us as a team. And I think now as women, like we're empowered, right?
Yeah.
And we have so much diversity because we have like me from Mexico, and we have Latinas, and then we have the Black community, and we have the people from Canada and the US. And that's what we love because we're such a mix, a great mix. So that's what we are. We're the women's Wolfpack team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just EXP is very inclusive brokerage and it's welcoming for all of us, I
Mhm.
guess, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. And so and then I'm just grateful that y'all are doing such a good job doing that. I know there's been a lot of good feedback from it, and it is an environment that gives you all the ability to do what you all need to do, and that's not getting y'all's way. And but I know there's a lot of excitement with that group. So you've done a great job. Now,
Yeah.
one last thing, let's talk about your CRM and your technology product, because the whole point today is, guys, how you can start something and in just a short window of time, in just a few years, look at what can be done if you really put the energy and time in and just don't stop. But so you've got all these things going on, but you're now moving into a tech business. You're going to create you have a CRM partnership product. Kind of break down what's coming out
Yeah,
here.
yeah. It's crazy because as you start working in this industry, like you see all the pain points of the realtors, right? What are their needs? What do they need? How can I help them? So I've seen it in these past years. How many people need Facebook, YouTube, Instagram? They don't know anything, and so I made a friend in this journey that he met me through my social media. He's in technology. He develops CRMs or whatever, and he started doing this for realtors. So he offered me like, Vane, would you like to have a CRM with your brand? And we have the technology. This is our forte, and we can partner together and do it. I'm like, hell yeah. So this CRM, like it has everything you need in one place. Like do we need? Well, we need a website, we need landing pages, we need to connect to the MLS or the platforms in other countries, so you can connect your properties there. You need a virtual assistant where you can manage all your contacts. You can have email automation. You can have webinars evergreen. You can have, all these things that sometimes you're looking, oh, I need to have active campaign or MailChimp or Zoom or what is it, the Webinar Jam, or so in one place you will have everything you need, and also you will have me every Tuesday doing workshops to help you thrive in your business. So I think this is something that I don't sell something and that's it. No, I like people to have success, as you said. So I think this is going to be amazing. It's open to the world. We're going to have our launch event next Tuesday. It's going to be live at Zoom and YouTube. It's going to be recorded there, and we will have workshops every Tuesday. So, I mean, we started the campaign yesterday, and I think we have almost 200 people registered already. So let's see what happens. I can't believe it, but I'm having this next Tuesday, because my team is like, we don't have the automation. I don't care. We're doing it next Tuesday. We're pushing this too long. I just want to go. Let's do it. So they're working right now, so we can do it. So
I'm excited for you. Thinking of how much you've done in just a couple short years, I can't imagine what you're going to do over the next decade. So just keep going. Don't lose that energy and keep that vision strong. And we'll see you on here in 10 years with like 60 books, all these courses, thousands of agents, changing lives all over.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I have in my vision board here, like the number one marketing for real estate in Spanish in the world. So I have it there. It's there. So we're going to do it. Yeah. So I will see you at EXPCon. I already have my tickets and my flight. So I will for sure see you there. Thanks a lot for having me here. I really appreciate it. And I enjoyed talking to you, Connor. Thanks a lot.
Always, Vane. Do you want to shoot people? We'll put all of Vane's information, links and everything below in the description. Is there what's the best place you want them to go follow? Give them your YouTube name, your YouTube channel.
Yeah, YouTube, or I'm the same name everywhere, Vane Monroe, everywhere. So you can find that, and I will send you my academy so they know where to find it. But everywhere, I'm Vane Monroe, or Vane, how you guys call me. Yeah, so it's the same everywhere.
Well, go on to your next thing that you're going to conquer. I know you got another meeting to go to, but thank you for sharing your time today, Vane, and inspiring so many people, helping out with Ladies Group, and also doing a really good job helping EXP expand around the globe. We'll get this one out, guys, and on the next one, thank you, Vane. You have a great day, and you guys all the same.
You too. Bye-bye.